What's going down, man? It's Donnie Houston, and I just jumped off the porch with Dirty Glove Bastards.
At the crib with my kids and my mama, far away from the stress and the drama.
All right, so we got the one and only, the legendary Donnie Houston jumping off the porch with us today.
Hey, man, I'm happy to be here, man. First of all, let me say this, man. I love what y'all created, man. It's a super dope platform, man. One of the dopest ones in the country, man. So thanks for having me, man.
No, absolutely, man. I appreciate that too, because anytime someone from Houston comes off the porch and I'm doing my research, the first interview that's going to pop up is something they did with Donnie Houston, man.
Yeah, that's what's up.
So I'm always getting some free game out of that too, man. So salute to you for everything
Appreciate
too,
it,
man.
man. Appreciate it.
Yeah. So how you feeling today too, man?
I feel good, man. I can't complain, man. You know,
Yeah.
just kicking it, man.
For sure. And what brings you to Atlanta for this trip, man?
I actually came out here, Facts Only Trivia. I don't know if y'all familiar with that.
No, I'm
Facts
not.
Only Trivia. It's like a trivia party type thing.
Okay.
And so, man, they do it. I don't know if it's monthly or something like that. But anyway, they came to Houston and did one. And so they asked me to come out here and host one with them. So I came out here to host that. And I was like, man, while I'm out here, let me tap in with my folks. You know
Oh,
what I'm saying?
absolutely, man. Yeah. As soon as you hit me, I was like, come on, man. Let's set this up, bro.
Yeah, for sure.
So how did the event go? It was pretty cool?
It was dope. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It's just a celebration of music, bro. So it's
Okay.
it's a real trivia party. You know what I'm saying? They ask questions, but it's like interactive. So people performing, rapping songs. There's all kind of dope shit going on, man.
Right up your alley there.
Right up
man.
my alley. Yeah. Hell yeah.
For sure, man. So let's go ahead and dive into your story. So born and raised in Houston, right?
Born and raised in Houston. Man.
What part of Houston are you from?
Southside, Herm Clark, man.
Okay.
Same neighborhood. When you talk about hip hop, like Herm Clark is like home of like Big Mello,
Yep.
Big Steve, Walsness, all that type of thing. So, yeah, but it's on the south side though.
Okay. And what's your thoughts on Houston today, and how does it compare when you was coming up like as a teenager, as a young adult and all that?
I mean, it's evolved probably like your perception of Atlanta. You know what I'm saying? Or I don't know if you're from Atlanta, but
No, I'm from Florida.
from Florida, yeah. You know what I'm saying? I'm pretty sure 90s Florida and 2025 Florida, it looked different, but there's still remnants of what made the city what it is. So it's the same thing with the H, man. Like, I mean, we move on with the times like everything else, but shit, people still ride slabs, you know what I'm saying? People still, we still coming down, we still living that lifestyle, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I feel like that's one thing with Houston that thankfully hasn't changed is that culture. Like you guys have those core roots with this where it's like same shit that was happening 30 years ago is probably still happening
It's
today.
still
man.
happening, you know what I mean? It's just the youngsters, they ride and they swing us a little longer, you know what I'm saying? And like old school cats used to ride slow, like they be, it's like GTA damn near the way they be racing them cars out there with them slabs, man. So it's just evolving, but the culture is the culture, man.
Oh yeah. And what's it like seeing that Houston culture, take over kind of over the whole world and everything? Look behind you, we got double cups and everything too, man. It's like it's part of the culture beyond Houston.
Now that part is a trip, cause it's like, bro, double cup sip and serve, like that's just like, it's like drinking water. You know what I'm saying? I hate to compare a drug to water, but I'm saying like as common as it is, it's like now I look at it as a trend. You know what I'm saying? Like you say double cup, you look, oh, that's Houston, that's whatever. But to us, it's just like, okay, whatever.
Is there any parts of Houston culture that has kind of disappeared that you've noticed over the years?
What's disappeared, man? I ain't gonna lie, bro. Like, I mean, it's just like anything with time. You know what I'm saying? Like nothing significant. I just think you just evolve over time, bro. But the city is a city. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Yeah.
And talk about your upbringing. Like, what were you into as a kid and everything?
Man, I was into music, bro. Like a lot of kids was waking up in the morning watching cartoons and shit, and I was watching Rap City and Yo MTV Raps, and you know what I'm saying? Video Soul with Donnie Simpson and all that. And I was big into basketball as well. So like basketball, music, and comedy as well, stand-up comedy. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
And you got your start by being a DJ at first, right?
Yeah. 15 years old, man.
15 years old.
Yeah.
What were you using back then? Like, it was probably hardware days, right?
It was hardware for sure. It was my first set of turntables was so trash, bro. I didn't know they was trash because I didn't know about DJing like that, but they was some belt drive turntables, man, made by Newmark. It's called DJ in the Box. Everything came in the box. Turntable, mixer, headphones, speakers, the whole nine. You know what I'm saying? And from there we just kept moving.
Was that some shit where you saved up to buy it, or did you ask mom and dad for it?
I asked my mom. You know what I'm saying? I seen my homeboy had some turntables. He was the first peer that was like my age, had some turntables, cat I went to church with. And I asked my mom about it, and we had an old piano because I have an older sister who played piano. You know what I'm saying? But she actually went to Emory out here. So she moved to Atlanta. We got this old piano in the crib. My mama like, well, if I can sell this piano, I get the turntables. So eventually she sold the piano and I got the turntables, man.
True. And were you self-taught, or did you have anyone to kind of teach you it, or?
Man, bro, I just listen and try to emulate it, That was it. But nobody ever stood over me and like showed me. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. Yeah. And like, who were some of your DJ influences back then? Like, who'd you look up to at the time?
From H-Time, bro, it's gonna be Screw all the time.
Okay.
Like that's the DJ I heard the most. You know what I'm saying? And then you had guys on the radio like Def Jam Blast, DJ Aggravated, Walter D, Steve Nice, GT. Man, so many dope guys that was just on the radio back in the 90s. You know what I'm saying? So yeah.
And did you start like chopping and screwing, slowing down the music as well?
Man, my first, I bought the turntables, bro, and that was one of the first things I wanted to learn, right? So I bought 2 copies of, because it's the year 2000, I bought 2 copies of Mystical Shake Your Ass.
Oh, shit.
You know what I'm saying? And I stayed in my room for a whole weekend until I figured out how to do it. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah.
How'd it turn out?
I finally got it. It was trash at first, you know what I'm saying? But I finally got it, you know?
Yeah, everyone's got to start somewhere.
Yeah,
with
for
this
sure. I was
practice shit,
terrible,
right?
bro. You know what I'm saying? But it is what it is, you know?
Yeah. So were you DJing parties at that time, or were you making mixtapes? Like, what were you doing at the time?
Man, at the time, it was just a neighborhood thing, man.
Okay.
Like at that time, bro, it's just people coming over, and because the screw culture is like our thing, you know what I'm saying? It was like I'm a DJ, my friends coming over, and they freestyling.
Oh, shit.
So like I saw y'all had my boy Propain on here.
Absolutely,
you know what I'm saying? Propain, when he became a rapper, I became a DJ. All this happened in my mom's garage, same time.
Oh,
you
shit.
know what I'm saying? So yeah.
Phew. So what's it been like watching Propain go from, rapping in your living room to being one of the biggest stars in Houston at this time?
I love it, man. I love to see it. But these are the things we used to talk about this. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, bro, we gonna do this and this and this. And of course, we just kids kind of dreaming. You know what I'm saying? But the shit turned out.
Yeah.
All right.
Now, I feel like it's good to have those dreams, especially when you can look up to some people in your city and be like, all right, this shit's actually, obtainable too, man.
Yeah, that was the thing. I mean, we saw these guys. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, man, it can happen. Yeah.
Yeah. And did you start DJing in any clubs at around that time, or when did that happen?
Bro, I ain't do clubs until clubs came after, bro. Like I graduated college and started DJing clubs.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Okay.
like I got my degree and I didn't get a job, like a corporate job. I got a club job, you know what I'm saying? So that's how I got into clubs after I graduated college, bro. Yeah.
And what college did you go to?
I went to Sam Houston State University, but then I graduated from Texas Southern University. So,
Okay.
Yeah.
And you got a degree in journalism?
Broadcast journalism. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
What made you go down that route?
I ain't gonna lie, bro. I saw my older sister go to college, so I knew I had to go to college after high school. But I didn't know shit about what I wanted to do. You know what I'm saying? So it was like, well, shit. Which one of these majors got the least math classes? You know what I'm saying?
Really? So you weren't a math guy at all?
I wasn't with it, and so one of my friends, rest in peace, George Justin Brown, man, is one of my best friends, childhood friends. His dad worked for ABC. And his dad was into all of that, and he wanted to follow his dad's path, and so he's like, man, I'm finna major in radio and television.
Okay.
And I was like, well, shit, how many math classes he got? He was like, shit, it's just one. You just take algebra. I'm like, well, shit, nigga, I'm gonna do that too. You know what I'm saying? And it just so happened I get into it, and I'm learning how to record audio, edit audio, shoot video, edit video. I had a little show at the college radio station back at Sam Houston, a little late night show. Nobody was listening, but I had one. You know what I'm saying? And it was just that, bro. The shit just naturally. It was like God just like aligning my path the whole time without me even knowing it. You know
So you kind of fell in love with it right away then, or?
I mean, it was school, bro. I hated school, but I loved those classes. Though. You know what I'm saying? Like all my grades were terrible except the radio and television courses. You know what I'm saying? So yeah.
And is it around this time you start making beats and everything once you finish school, or?
That happened. I dropped out of college, bro. So that's how I ended up at 2 colleges. You know what I'm saying? So when I dropped out of Sam Houston, this is Kanye West college dropout era. I'm calling my mama like, Mom, I'm done with this shit. You know what I'm saying? And so stuff is going on. I'm DJing college parties, you know what I'm saying? Like little stuff is happening or whatever. And so I dropped out, and within that summer, one of those summers, it was like a 2-year thing while I wasn't in school. Within one of those summers, I bought a keyboard and started making beats. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Yeah.
Who were some of the first artists to jump on your beats then?
Bro.
Okay. So it was like you guys are just with each other, man, check out these beats, or?
Man, it was I had to make them. He saw me make them, you know what I'm saying, trying to make them. And I remember him thinking like, bro, you ain't never gonna get this shit. You know what I'm saying? One day, and I ain't gonna lie, like I was intimidated, bro, because it's hardware. So I had a Yamaha Multi keyboard, you know what I'm saying? I was intimidated by that shit, to be completely honest with you. So I ain't even really touch it for like the first month, you know what I'm saying? But then I finally figured that shit out.
Okay.
Yeah.
And how long did it take you to kind of get comfortable with it and to be like, all right, these beats actually sound pretty good, man?
I got the keyboard in September. By like October, November, I was making stuff that was all right. By the time New Year's came, like I remember I made this live ass beat New Year's Eve. And so by the time New Year's came around, that's when I was like, all right, I'm jamming now. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Yeah.
And who else was jumping on your beats?
Man, my boy Rob Galat back then, he was going by Critical. It wasn't really a bunch of people, bro. To be real, like really on the cool, when I was starting, bro, it was me and Pro really in there grinding it out, like just me trying to be the best producer, him trying to be the best rapper. Yeah. That's the story, you know what I'm saying?
And what's been one of the biggest songs that you produced so far?
Probably Peaceful by Slim Thug.
Okay.
That's probably up there.
Yeah. Are you still making beats today, or is that over with?
Man, I took a little hiatus, but I'm about to get back to it.
You about to get into it?
Yeah.
Okay, there you go, man.
Yeah.
And so before we start the Donnie Houston podcast, you had a couple other podcasts you were a part of, right?
I had a podcast, so 2011, 2012, I had a podcast called The Issue. And this is before podcasting was like easily accessible. You know what I'm saying? Like now, you know, you get an iPhone, they're gonna give you the podcast app, you know what I'm saying? And Google Play and all this extra shit. But this was back when you uploaded it and it was like, hey, check out my blog spot. You know what I'm saying? And it was like a weird kind of way. And then also people weren't really into the idea of like, I'm gonna listen to people that I know talk. You know what I'm saying? But it was funny though, it was me and my boy, Chakeem, who I bring on my show now as my co-host, you know what I'm saying? And we talk about stuff with my childhood friends, my boy Lean, and my partner Lance, you know what I'm saying? And we just be on there talking shit. But it was so fucked up, I had to scrub that shit, you know what I'm saying? Like, we used to be on there tripping, man, so I had to scrub that shit. But yeah, that was that. And then 2017, I think, I started What They Talking About, which was just me and my friends, and it was just us really on some funny shit, you know what I'm saying? And that's why if you look at my podcast, that shit still registered as a comedy show, because we would just be on there tripping, you know what I'm saying? But then, you know, they had to go to work and life and this and that, you know what I'm saying? And it was a whole thing, like it was like a running joke of like, you know, this Donnie baby, you know what I'm saying? So it was like my friends just coming along with me on this vision I had, you know what I'm saying? So when they had to go back to life and all that, man, I just was like, fuck it, bro, I still want to do this, you know what I mean? And I had to DJ'd and built relationships and produced and built relationships. And I just started calling in people, man, and that was the Donnie Houston Podcast.
That's it.
Yeah.
Who's the first person? Who was one of the first guests? Maybe not the first one, but some of the first ones.
On any guest? Jay Prince.
Jay Prince.
Yeah.
How you get Jay Prince on there, bro?
I got a courtesy call, man.
I can only imagine how that went, man.
Man, scared the shit out of me, man. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna lie, bro. This is a courtesy call. I mean, you ain't from Houston and you know about them things. You know what I'm saying? So I had a guy on my show, man, you know, street legend in our city, you know what I mean? And he had said some things that Jay wasn't really too happy about. And so I get a phone call. I'm actually on the road with Slim Thug. I'm in Shreveport, because at this point I'm on the road with him as his DJ. I'm in Shreveport. Bro, it's like damn near 1 a.m. And my phone rings and I'm like, hello? Somebody was like, Donnie Houston? I'm like, yeah. Yeah, we got Jay on the line, hold on. I was like, what the fuck? Click over and it's the man, you know what I mean? And the cool thing about it was that he saw it and he didn't look at me as if I did anything. You know what I'm saying? He was just like, man, I heard these things, I want to go on that same platform and address it.
That's it.
And it was just like, damn, like, I got a Jay Prince interview, that's true, you know what I'm saying?
So the original interview where the guy was kind of talking shit about Jay Prince, like, were you afraid at all of putting that out, or did you just say, all right, it is what it is, we just gonna throw it out there? Or?
To be completely honest, bro, I was so new that I didn't even think about that. Like, it never even crossed my mind.
That he would actually hear it then, or?
I'm not thinking about that. I ain't thinking, so that's why I'm like, man, what the fuck? Oh, I'm really doing some real shit. I done got a courtesy call, you know what I'm saying? Like, maybe this is something. So, yeah, but I ain't think nothing of it.
So Jay Prince appears on the show. Like, what's the reaction when that episode comes out?
When it comes out, man, people just was like, man, it was dope, and you know, a lot of people paid attention to it. It was dope, man. You know, it was cool. But even then, I still wasn't really doing Houston hip hop stories. I was just doing a regular podcast. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah.
So how do we go into, you know, merging over to just being mostly focused on Houston then?
Shit, well, what happened was, man, after my friends, after it became me, it was like, shit, I need somebody to talk to. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not one of them people, I know a lot of people create solo content, but I ain't really like a solo content guy, you know what I'm saying? So I was like, man, I need people to talk to. And so the people I was calling were from Houston. And my homeboy, Flash, man, shout out Flash. I brought him on my show and I built up a few interviews at this time, and he's a historian, in Houston as well. You know what I mean? Big in like soul, blues, hip hop as well, but like just all kind of different music. And so he was telling me like, hey man, you know what you're doing, man? Like you're a historian with your documenting culture. And I'm like, I'm just talking to niggas that rap, man. Like what you talking about? But over time, it turned into that. And I was like, oh, I'm documenting history. And so that gave me a whole different approach to it, you know?
True. What's been one of the wildest stories that you heard on your own podcast where it's like, damn, I did not know this had happened or anything like that?
All them shit's wild, bro, because you gotta understand, man, in Houston, man, we be on player time, so we ain't doing too much talking, you know what I'm saying? Like, me starting my podcast, this is the first time that you hearing from guys on the Screwed Up Click, first time you really hearing from guys on Rap A Lot, Swisher House, you know what I'm saying? Street legends and shit, you know what I'm saying? Dudes that Slab Kings and all that, like, this the first time you hearing from them. So all them shits was like, what? You know what I mean? I had no idea.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Because at this time, we're talking about 2019 is when you really started it, right? Was there any Houston platforms out there besides like the, you know, the radio stations and all that for artists to get their interviews and stuff like that?
They had platforms for sure, and Slim Thug had a podcast. They had platforms, but nothing. I ain't gonna say that because people have been doing stuff, but yeah, I mean they had something out there. Yeah.
Why do you feel like yours really resonated with the people in Houston?
To be completely honest, man, to be real, bro, it just happened that way. Like I think people appreciated that we were having like honest conversation. Like we just sitting here talking like how you and I having a regular conversation, and the information that's coming out. You know what I'm saying? And it was just like one of those things. It was a bunch of, man, I didn't know that, whatever type shit, because people didn't talk. Yeah. So this was the first time you hearing people talk for an hour and a half, 2, sometimes 3 hours. And you getting all this information, and it just became a thing where people started gravitating to it, you know?
Yeah, and I think one thing that really sticks out to me with your platform is you're really just pushing like honest stories and positivity. You're not looking to get clout or beef stories and stuff like that.
I'm not looking for that. It comes out, you know what I'm saying? Because I mean, it's hip hop, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like beef, that's gonna be a part of hip hop, unfortunately, to the end of time. You know what I'm saying? But I don't go for that. I'm not going for sensationalism. I'm not looking to go viral. Some interviews, you know, might do a bunch of views. Some of them may not, and I'm cool with that as long as I'm having the conversation I want to have with the guests. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I care about.
Yeah, because there's so many platforms these days just looking for that clickbait, that newsworthy clout title that they can use instead of diving into, like you said, the culture and really documenting the history and everything.
Yeah, and I mean, if that's your game, go ahead, man, but that's not what I'm on. So, whatever.
Yeah. The Paul Wall interview, this is one of your biggest ones. Right?
Which one?
I think it was the first or second.
The first one was, he's just like hella long.
I think that
where
was
he talked about where he was, that tripped me out. You know, Rick Ross was putting together MMG, and he wanted Paul to be the Houston representative for it, and he turned it down. You talking about that one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you expect that one to get the type of response it did?
The thing is I really know Paul Wall. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of this stuff, like, me and Paul would have been in the studio, and I would kind of nerd out and just start asking them the shit y'all see me ask on camera. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of this stuff he would tell me, and it would just blow my mind. The Kanye West stories and all that, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I kind of knew some of it, but yeah.
What's been one of your most fulfilling or favorite interviews that you've done so far?
Man, bro, I ain't gonna lie, man. It's so hard for people to ask me about specific ones because I appreciate every single one for what they bring, you know what I'm saying? But like Sheila Jackson Lee before she passed away, and that's the other thing too, is that people have passed away now, like Big Pokey, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. And now I'm probably the only person that has his life story, you know, documented. We did the June 27 reunion, you know what I mean, with Pokey. That was a big deal. So, you know, the Big Pokeys, the Lil Kikis, all the screwed up stuff, all of them, bruh. Like, I love them all, man.
Yeah. Do you turn down a lot of interviews?
I'll turn it down if I know you come in to start some shit. If I know that. Now, if you come there and it come out on the couch, it come out on the couch. But if you call me, like I've had people call me and tell me they want to come and talk down on somebody, and it's like, nah, bro, I'm not with that. You know what I mean?
And what's their response when you tell them that? Do they respect that?
I mean, people know me.
Yeah.
Like, people know, like, bro, I'm really from Houston, you know what I'm saying? Like, people know me, they just seen me grow up and shit. Like, you ain't never known me to be a messy person. You never known me to be a controversial person. Have beefs and issues in my personal life. So when it comes to my business, it's gonna be the same way. You know what I'm saying?
And what about upcoming artists? Can they get on the platform too, or are you pretty selective with who you have on?
Pretty selective, only because like a lot of times up and coming artists, like I be having conversations for hours at a time, bro. And a lot of times up and coming artists, they don't really have that, they haven't built up the career to talk in that piece, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And sometimes they're not even media trained
And
at
that's
all.
another thing, because I've had some and it was just like, damn, bro, like this shit is tough. You know what I'm saying?
It's like pulling teeth, you know
Yeah,
what I'm
like,
saying?
god damn, bro. I'm like throwing you all the alleys, fam. All you gotta do is dunk that bitch, you know what I'm saying? But yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of one of the true arts of interviewing is knowing how to get the best out of someone, but sometimes they just, there's nothing
Ain't got
there.
nothing to give, man.
They ain't got nothing to give. What's some of your biggest pet peeves for artists, whether they're showing up to the platform or even if they don't show up to the platform, which
Man,
I'm sure happens a lot
I've
too.
had them days, bro. Like I really grinded out with this shit, man. And you know, like it's a couple of y'all in here, but like when I started, it would just be me. So like I set up all the cameras, set up the audio equipment, all that shit, man. And you know, they might not show up, or I'm sitting there 3-4 hours late. You know what I'm saying? Like that was early on, but these days it's pretty cool.
Okay.
You know?
And how do you treat the artists if they don't show up or if they show up 3-4 hours late? Are you understanding? Like, all right, cool, let's go ahead and knock it out, or?
If you show up 3-4 hours late and we still do it, I really want to do that interview.
It's got to be something that you're really
I
passionate
wanna
about.
do it.
Then, huh?
Yeah. If we get to that point and we still do the interview, I really want to do that motherfucker because I ain't got no problem being like, hey man, I got some shit to do. You know what I'm saying? Because I be having shit to do. So it is what it is.
And what's your thoughts on the Houston media scene right now? It seems like there's more platforms than ever, but I still feel like there's more room for other ones to grow as well, too.
There's definitely room for sure. What I would like to see is a little variety. I'd like to see a little bit more variety, you know what I mean? But it's Houston is growing in the platform scene. We got some cool stuff out there. Shout out to, in my humble opinion, with my guys Devon and Avery, you know what I'm saying? They got a dope interview with Ro out right now.
Okay.
So yeah, there's some dope ones out there.
Yeah. Now, when you say variety, what else are you looking for then?
I mean, I ain't gonna lie, when it comes to Houston rap, and I ain't saying this for nobody to not have Houston rap podcast, but like I put a lot of information out there. Mm-hmm. Like I wanna learn something new. You know what I'm saying? And that's really it.
Yeah. And what's your thoughts on interviewing people outside of Houston?
I'm with that. I've done that. I've done
Okay.
some, you know, Spice Ones and a bunch of New Orleans stuff and David Banner, and I've had people from out the city. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
And how does your audience react when it's someone not from Houston? Do they tune in or?
Bro, it depends, bro. Like it depends on if you connected to our culture.
Okay.
So like Spice One, you know, Screw was big on Spice and a lot of that West Coast shit. So when I do the Spice, it's like, oh yeah, we love Spice. You know what I'm saying? But then I might do somebody else that I think is super dope, and it's just not no H-Town shit. You know what I'm saying? So people might not fuck with it, but it'll be a super live interview, and I'll be like, man, if they was on a guest in a platform in another region, you know what I'm saying? Like this shit would be going crazy.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, because we have the same thing with our audience. Like if an artist from the West Coast or New York comes down here, it could be a super fire interview, but it's like our audience usually sometimes won't gravitate towards it. It's like, damn.
Yeah.
This
And it'd be
should've been
tough
on
because
there.
it's like, how y'all don't want to see this one? Like this
Exactly.
one as dope as was. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Yeah. So looking ahead, like where do you see the Donnie Houston podcast going in the future, man?
It's gonna keep growing. I'm doing more I'm getting into more documentaries. I got a documentary on my cousin, Mr. 32. I put out the tribute version of it, but there's a full documentary that's coming. You know what I'm saying? So get into more documentaries. Keep doing the podcast. Just keep trying to expand, bro. You know what I'm saying?
And what can you tell us about 3-2 away from the music? Like what type of person was he?
3-2. This is the thing, man. 3-2 was so much older than me. Like people be asking me, like, man, well, tell me about the time you and 3-2 hung out. Man, he's like 10, 15 years older than me. We not hanging out. You know what I'm saying? Like it is what it is. It's definitely my cousin and I, you know, all of that. But we were so different in age. Like when I'm 10 years old, his solo albums, he's like 22, 23, 24, 5 with a solo album and on Rap a Lot and living a rapper's life, and I'm living a child's life. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not hanging around that shit. So, yeah.
And what's your thoughts on the Houston music scene right now today?
Man, it's popping, man. We got a lot of stuff, and it's different stuff. Like you got Sauce Walka, what Sauce Walka's doing. You got like Quiet Money Dot, who's a guy who's like a. You familiar with Quiet Money Dot? Mm-mm. Quiet Money Dot is the guy in Houston right now. Like,
okay.
If you like traditional Houston culture, music and the feel of it and the sound of it. It's updated, of course, but it's remnants of that whole thing, man. That embodies all of that. And so he's the guy right now. We got OTB Fastlane. I mean, we got Big Tony, you know, of course, Mexican OT and all those guys who, you know, yeah.
Let me ask you, when Sauce Walka first came out, what was Houston's reaction to him? Because he didn't have like a Houston sound at the time.
He did, man. I remember seeing them, man, because they used to work out the same studio with me and Pro. So I saw Sauce in the early days, and all the shit that he doing right now, he was talking it. Like, he was saying he was gonna be the guy that he is today. You know what I mean? And had that confidence, and most importantly, had the work ethic to go with that shit. You know what I'm saying? And it was one of them things to where, you know, man, they was some young wild boys. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, but you had to respect it. You had to respect it, man, and that's just what that is.
Do you feel like Houston rallied behind him, or did he blow up outside the city and then Houston got behind him?
That's a good question. The city definitely was fucking with the Sauce. You know what I'm saying? I think he definitely had the city, but then a lot of people really gravitated to what he was doing outside the city too, because Sauce was coming with something that was a little different. You know, they were the ones who were really coming with the MCM backpacks, and you know, the fashion was different, and they really were on. So when he first was coming out, he was more on some like, I'm on some riding 4Gs. I don't want to ride swingers. I don't, you know what I'm saying? So that opened up a whole other crowd of people to gravitate to what he was doing, man. But
yeah, and to see his shit take off like it has, it's been inspiring for me to watch, you know?
It's dope as hell. It's dope as hell because he literally built that shit. He's still independent, and he's one of the biggest, you know, newer artists to come out in the last 10 years, man.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Now, what about Travis Scott? Was Houston behind him in the early days too?
You know, Travis didn't come up in Houston. Like, he's from Houston, but his music journey isn't really tied to Houston. Like, he moved out and I think met Mike Dean and, you know, went that whole route with his thing. He didn't come up, you know, through like Houston like that. But we love Travis though, for sure.
Yeah. He's become one of the biggest, you know, stars in the game with this shit.
Sure. Superstar, most definitely.
Bun B in the Rodeo. Can you just try and describe and explain how important, how big this is for Houston, man?
The rodeo in general, okay, before we even get to the rodeo, before we even get to Bun B, the rodeo, the Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo, you know what I'm saying? Bruh, traditionally in Houston, it's one of the biggest events that we've ever had. Like, Elvis performed there, you know what I'm saying? Selena, everybody, it's a big deal. You know, they got all that livestock stuff going on, but like the concert, that's the thing, you know what I'm saying? And like, what Bun has been able to do for the last, I think it's 4 years, is incredible, because prior to him, we definitely didn't have anybody from our city doing that, and especially like with the rap and stuff. So like, he was able to bring, you know, Lil Kiki on the radio stage, on the rodeo stage, and ESG on the rodeo stage, and like all these guys into these different crowds, and he's just been building, and it's just an amazing thing, man.
Yeah, because he's like a curator for the show now, right?
Yeah, most definitely.
Yeah,
most definitely.
And it's like you said, 5 years ago, there was pretty much no rap artists whatsoever.
They kept bringing, and I love him. He's one of the greatest artists of all time. But man, we was getting Usher and Mary J. Blige. Usher, Mary
Every
J.
other
Blige,
year, huh?
John Legend. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was that type of lineup. You know what I mean? And I think I might have saw LL Cool J there one year, like 20 years ago, 25 years ago. You know what I'm saying? Before as rap, it wasn't really no rap, and it definitely wasn't no Texas rap.
What do you think helped, you know, made the rodeo embrace the rap culture then? Was it just the people wanting it so much, or?
Well, everybody love rap, you know what I'm saying? But also, when you got a guy as great as Bun B, it's like, man, why not? You know what I'm saying? It's like, Bun B, he's a great guy, but then also he represents Houston and culture and rap and all that. And it's like, man, it's just a great partnership. I love it.
Yeah. Could you describe what Bun B's legacy is, just for Texas in general? Because I know he's from Port Arthur, but he's stamped in Houston.
Yeah. Well, Bun is from Houston. He was born in Houston. You know what I'm saying? But he spent a lot of time in Port Arthur. What his legacy mean, bro? I don't know if y'all got enough tape to that. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, Bun, man, is one of the greatest. Not even just in Texas. When we talk about hip hop. You know what I mean? Like, he supersedes all that, bro. Like, Bun is he's one of the greatest lyricists, man. The UGK legacy, you know what I'm saying? What him and Pimp C did with UGK, bro, is incredible. You know what I mean? There's still remnants of that influence to this day, and I think to the end of time, you'll always see that. You know what I'm saying? But Bun, man, is everything to us, bro. Yeah.
And talk about that relationship you guys have been able to build up. Because didn't you get to interview him at the rodeo for his birthday or something like that?
I interviewed him. That was for Spotify. So yeah, early this year I partnered with Spotify to do something at the rodeo, to interview Bun basically for his birthday. So yeah. But we did that. We did the Houston Hip Hop 50th anniversary. I hosted that. He invited me to host that with him, you know what I'm saying, which was a big deal. But he's been a great supporter, man. Like I can't say, I could talk about Bun all day, bro. Just being just who he is, you know what I'm saying?
Definitely one of the GOATs in this shit,
One of the
man.
GOATs, bro. Yeah.
And how much time do you put into research for each interview?
Man, these days, I probably still put in a lot, but it doesn't feel like when I first was starting. Like, bro, I used to sit down and study that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I knew somebody was coming, all right, we finna lock in. Let me find as much information as I can, get that information, and then after that, let me form my questions after that. You know what I'm saying? And it was a whole thing I had or whatever. These days, it's not a whole lot of prepping.
Yeah.
But I'm always prepared though.
Yeah, because sometimes the best, questions be shit you think on the fly, or the best answers be something that you wouldn't even think about it asking.
And so much comes out in conversation. Like somebody might say something and we'll go down a whole nother rabbit hole that I wasn't even thinking we were gonna talk about. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. If you could give some game to some upcoming, interviewers or podcasters, what would you give them, man?
I would say, man, if you really, really want to like make a splash, quote unquote, you know what I'm saying? Like for me, at the time, it wasn't any like serious Houston hip hop podcasts that's going on. So it was like, it became like a niche, you know what I'm saying? And if you can find that, you can find what nobody's talking about and like hone in on that shit, or talk about it in a way that nobody is talking about it. If it is something that people are talking about, man, you're gonna win every time.
No, absolutely.
Yeah.
And what's your thoughts on rap podcasting as a whole right now today?
It's some great ones out there. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to y'all. Shout out to Beehive. It's some great ones out there, but it's a lot of, man, the sensationalism, the need for people to want to go viral. Sometimes I feel like sometimes clouds what could have came out in the interview. You know what I mean?
Do you feel like that's more on the podcast, or is that more on the audience wanting to see that viral shit?
See, that's the thing, bro, is that people, and even with me, I had a situation recently, bro, and people, I got some flack about it, but I was like, damn, bro, all y'all went to go watch this shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm trying to figure out, if you so mad about it, why you watching it? And then when I drop all this positive shit, you miss
Sometimes it falls on deaf ears,
It falls on deaf ears, and it's like, fam, all right, one controversial interview, I done did 1,000 where none of this shit came up. But the one with the controversy is the one y'all ran to, and simultaneously the one y'all blame me for. Like, I said some shit, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's crazy, man.
How do you deal with that as a person, when you start seeing like the negativity for something, not something that you did or anything, but something that you addressed, start getting more light than all the positive shit that you did?
It just is what it is, bro. At this point, man, I'm 6 years in with this shit, bro. I ain't surprised by nothing no more. I done seen it all, fam. So it's like, as long as I know I'm doing what I'm supposed to do, as long as I know I'm not like instigating the bullshit, you know what I mean? Even if some shit come up on my show, I'm not flaming that motherfucker, you know what I'm saying? Like, that shit gonna come up on them, but I'm not putting the flame in that shit, bro. So as long as I'm, doing what I'm supposed to do, man, I really ain't tripping.
Yeah. Bucket list Houston artists that you haven't had on the show yet.
Bucket list. Scarface. But I got a great relationship with Face, so we talked about, things. He actually, what he did on Shannon Sharp, because he got a new thing with Shannon Sharp.
Yeah, I haven't watched it yet, but I've been seeing the clips.
And he went through all his songs and all that shit, man. Face pulled up on me earlier this year in one of my DJ sets. And I just played one Face song. He was there, and I asked him to do one verse for me. And it turned into basically what he did on Club Shay Shay. So it was whoever was in the club that night, they got an opportunity to see me play probably an hour plus of his songs and him telling the stories about him and how they came about, and it was dope as fuck. Yeah.
Did anyone document this?
Man, I got like pieces of it.
Yeah.
But a lot of it, because it was also raw too. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was him, so some of that shit, we was kind of just like, all right, if he was there, you caught it. If you didn't,
Wow, that's wild right there. That's major, man.
Yeah.
Besides Scarface, anyone else? I feel like you've had almost everyone.
I've had so many people, like, for us Houston, like Scarface, bruh. I don't know. It's people that I haven't done. I mean, I still ain't done Mike Jones. I still ain't done Chamillionaire. I would love to talk to Chamillionaire because I think he's a brilliant mind.
Oh, yeah.
Like, incredible rapper, but a brilliant mind. What he's been able to do.
Yeah, with the
after
investment
rap
and
is
everything.
is crazy. You know what I'm saying? It's a bunch of people, even outside of Houston, bro. Like DOC, he from Dallas. You know what I'm saying? The DOC, I love
Man,
him.
he was supposed to come on earlier this year too.
No
They
shit.
had reached out. And I was like, I gave him some days. I was like, man, just let me know when he's here. I would love to do that.
No shit. And so what happened? It just fell through? Or what?
Yeah, I don't think he ever made it out to Atlanta.
Yeah, DOC is one of the greats, man. Him
Absolutely.
and Scarface are two greatest MCs to ever come out of Texas. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's next? Where do you think we can go with this shit?
Where we going? Shit, we gonna see, man. You know what I mean? You never fucking know, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is the thing is that, bro, like some of the things I do be playing and some stuff, man, I might wake up one morning with an idea. And then it's like, I'm over here doing this shit. You know what I'm saying? So, you never know, bro.
You still DJing?
Still DJ. I still DJ every week. I'm going back to Houston because I got
Okay.
sets all weekend and shit, but.
Let me ask you, in your sets, how much of it is just Houston music compared to what other stuff that you throw in there too?
I mean, I might throw some Houston music in there, but you know, I'm playing whatever the people want to hear. You know what I'm saying? So we'll do that Houston stuff, and then they always hire me when it's time to do the June 27th, when it's time to do the 713 day, when it's time to do DJ Screw's birthday, like all those cultural things. That's when I play just a gang of Houston shit.
Okay.
But every one of my sets, we gonna go through some Houston shit. You gonna hear some Lil Kiki, some Fat Pat, you know what I'm saying? You gonna hear Lil Old Players Get Chose. You gonna hear, you know, Mo City Done by Zero. You know what I'm saying? There's certain records you're gonna hear when I'm DJing, but it ain't gonna be all Houston though.
Yeah. Who would you say is one of the most underrated Houston artists outside of the city?
Are you familiar with Zero?
Of course. It's one of the greats, man.
One of the greats, one of the most talented.
His style is kind of what set off what's going on today. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, Ro is man. See, I don't know how people feel about Zero outside of Texas, or how much they know about him. But like, he's one of those guys that's just like amazingly talented, bro. Yeah.
Yeah. Go ahead and plug your social media. You know, plug the podcast and all that, so people know where to tap in.
For sure, man. Hey, man, subscribe to Donnie Houston Podcast, man. You know what I'm saying? That's Donnie Houston TV. Donnie Houston Podcast on all audio platforms. You know what I'm saying? Follow me. I'm Donnie Houston. I am DonnieHouston. That's Instagram, Twitter, X, whatever the fuck, all that shit. You know what I'm saying?
And do you have a certain set schedule with your releases, or is it just whenever I shoot some shit, I roll it out?
Whatever. Like, I used to shoot when I had more time. I used to just shoot anytime. Like, I might shoot every day of the week. I might shoot, you know, with a couple of them here and there, whatever. But now, one day a week, I line it up, and I just shoot that day, and whatever that is, I distribute it however, you know.
Yeah.
So
And do you edit your own videos, or do you have them edited?
I do all that shit.
You do everything. That's wild.
I record my own audio, edit my own audio. I do have someone helping me with cameras.
Okay.
And I had my guy Elliot for a while helping me, but now it's just like, I done bought the switcher, I done bought the cameras, I done bought the lights, you know what I'm saying? I bought all my shit, and it's just like, hey man, I need you to run this switcher for me. I might need one extra camera, but for the most part, after that, man, I take the files and do everything myself.
True. How do you find time for that shit? That shit's tedious too, man, the editing part.
It is tedious, but you know what, bro? When I really was running it up, in the pandemic, back when I had the fucked up couch, you know what I'm saying? and all that shit, you know, before I had the graffiti background and all that, man, like, I had a little Mevo camera, bro, and that was part of the thing that kept me going. Like, I loved, you know, doing the research on the interview, recording it, and then sitting there and like editing the shit. Cause I went to school for this shit too, so
Yeah,
it,
that's
you know,
true.
it is what it is.
True. No, that's what's good, bro. You got any shout outs you want to get before we get you out of here, Donnie?
Shout out to y'all, man. I appreciate y'all having me, man. This is hella dope. Shout out to my city, H-Town, man. Shout out to everybody that rock with me, man. So yeah.
At the crib with my kids and my mama, far away from the stress and the drama. Came up